Welcome to our mock interview session for aspiring French teachers. Today, we're diving into key questions you might face in an interview and providing tips on how to answer them confidently. Let's get started with our first question about inspiring a struggling student. Can you share a time when you successfully motivated a student who was having a tough time learning French? This question helps interviewers understand how you engage and uplift students facing challenges. Here are some tips to craft your answer. Think of a specific student and their particular struggles. Explain the techniques you use to engage and inspire them. Discuss the progress they made and how it boosted their confidence. Mention any creative strategies, like games or real-life applications. Share any personal lessons you learned from this experience. Now, let's look at an example answer.
I once had a student who found verb conjugations challenging. To help, I introduced games like Verb Bingo and incorporated music into lessons. Over time, her confidence grew, and her test scores improved significantly.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for French teacher. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Tell us about a time when you had to adapt your teaching style to suit a diverse group of learners. Interviewers want to see your ability to tailor your teaching to meet varied needs in the classroom. Here's how you can approach this question. Describe a specific instance where diversity was evident in your classroom. Explain how you assess different learning needs and styles. Detail the adjustments you made in your teaching methods or materials. Highlight the positive outcomes and benefits for your students. Reflect on what you learned and how it influenced your teaching approach. Let's move on to a sample response.
In a mixed-level French class, I realized some students struggled with grammar while others excelled in vocabulary. I crafted differentiated activities like group projects for advanced students and one-on-one grammar drills for those needing extra help. This strategy boosted engagement and ensured all students progressed.
Describe a situation where you had to manage a disruptive student. What did you do and what was the result? Interviewers aim to gauge your classroom management skills and ability to maintain a positive learning environment. Consider these tips when forming your response. Identify a specific incident and provide a brief overview. Detail the disruptive behavior clearly. Explain the actions you took to address the situation. Discuss the outcome and what you learned. Highlight your efforts to maintain a positive classroom atmosphere. Here's an example of how you might respond.
In a previous class, a student frequently interrupted others during group activities. I privately discussed the impact of his behavior, and he soon started participating positively, leading to a more focused classroom environment.
If a student shows disinterest in learning French, how would you engage them? This question evaluates your ability to ignite a passion for learning in students. Here's how you can tackle this question. Incorporate topics that interest the student, like music or movies. Use games or interactive activities to make learning enjoyable. Set achievable goals to demonstrate progress and build confidence. Encourage student expression by allowing them to choose projects or topics. Create a supportive atmosphere where mistakes are opportunities to learn. Now, let's explore a potential answer.
I would begin by discussing the students' interests and weaving them into lessons, perhaps by using French songs they like or films they find intriguing.
Imagine you only have 1 hour to teach a complex grammar point in French. How would you structure your lesson? This question tests your lesson planning and time management skills. Here's how to approach your response. Start with a brief introduction to the grammar point and its importance. Use engaging examples that relate to the student's interests. Incorporate interactive activities to practice the grammar in context. Allow time for questions and clarification to ensure understanding. Wrap up with a summary and provide additional resources for extra practice. Let's look at an example of structuring such a lesson.
I'd kick off with a 10-minute introduction to the grammar point, illustrating its relevance with relatable examples. Then I'd engage the class in a 20-minute activity where they create sentences in pairs using the new structure. I'd spend 15 minutes addressing questions, concluding with a recap and providing handouts for further practice.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free. Just grab it below.